Hi, we're back. It's the next weekend, and it is the 27th, I think. I just checked, and I've already forgotten. It's Saturday, and we're gonna build. See if I can see. We're gonna change out. See these braces? I'm gonna take those down because I don't need them anymore, and then I'm gonna put in a few supports there so that we have something for the siding to hold on to. And yeah, and then we'll think about framing out the toilet room if we have time and energy and wood. We should have enough wood to at least get started. I continue to vacillate on where the toilet room should go. I had talked about putting it on this wall so that it would give a second vertical wall without being at an angle for the kitchen, but now I'm not as concerned about that. My original design was that it would be in this corner in the front here, so that when you open the door opens to the toilet room wall, and then the first things you see are the kitchen and living area nice and open. If I did it with the toilet room on this side, the door would open the other way, and you would still see a living area, and then on this side there will be some clear roofing so that it looks like big windows, which is also great. But I'm trying to think of like furniture arrangement and space usage, and I think I'm back to putting it over here with the door swinging that way so that you would walk into the kitchen, so that in the event we don't want the bed under that window, we could push it up against that wall, make a bit more open space on this side of the room if you wanted to, like, I don't know, set up a table to eat or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, I think it might be better if we put the bathroom on the other side of the room so that it gives us some additional furniture options for arrangement. Because you can't push the bed onto this side, or else you're going to block your kitchen access. So, yeah. So in the event you didn't want the bed centered in the room, where would it go? Well, it has to go against a wall, and it can't go in the kitchen, so I should probably work it out so that it fits over there. I don't know. It doesn't matter, really. I'm overthinking it like always. But nonetheless, I'm going to start framing over there on these sides, take those braces down. So that will be the last of our framing. We also, I guess that's not the last of our framing. I have to actually frame in on these rafters over here where that clear roofing will go, because it'll get attached more securely. Well, it'll get a top and a bottom attachment, whereas because there's no sheathing there, it's going to have something. So it's going to have to get framed out so that it's nice and solid, since there will not be sheathing in that spot. And it essentially will be from the top of that piece of sheathing up, and then also over here up, so that you'll have really great natural light in there all the time. So yeah, I can frame that out too. So yeah, framing. I'm hoping to get as much of the framing done as I can this weekend. And then next weekend, Levin says he'll help me with sheathing, because that would be easier with two people. And then I can wrap it and keep the rain out, because it rained really heavily overnight and this morning, and look at that. There was so much water. It was all the way up where all that dark is. So when I got here this morning, I cut a little gap. There it is. I cut a little gap. See if I can show you. In the floor frame here. There. So that it would drain. This is the door jamb. It's going to get cut away anyway. So it's okay if there's a little gap there, but I don't want any more standing water in there, because we're going to start closing this in, and I want it to be as dry as I can get it. There's nothing I can do about that back. corner, because all that framing is going to stay. But I can always sweep that forward so that it will come out the door when we get ready to dry it up. But this front section definitely holds the most water for whatever reason, and so that's got an outlet now. The sun came out. It's a nice day. It did, as I said, rain this morning quite a lot. I was starting to think I was going to stay home and clean house instead of working on this today, but lucky me, I only tied it up a little. Now I'm outside. So we'll see how far we can get. Yeah, I don't have a lot of wood. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11 2x4s that are not currently in use as braces. I can't take the braces down until I have sheathing on. And so some of those braces will probably end up getting used for like the deck or something. But anyway, off I go. There it is. Framing on the kitchen is done. I ended up doing a ridiculously simple option here because it's not structural, these walls on either side. The structure's already been solidified. So these are just cut at an angle to follow the rafters. This one is at 4 feet because that's how wide the sheathing is, and there's one in the middle at 2 feet just to give it some additional area to fasten onto so there's no bowing in the sheathing. But that's it. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, there just really wasn't a need to make it any stronger. Not to say they aren't strong. These guys are nailed into the rafters with many nails because there was area to do so, and then they're toe-nailed in at the top. But they didn't need to be turned sideways for rigidity because these walls are so tiny it doesn't matter. So what I mean by that is that there's no way to get it to bend this way or out, which would then, if there were enough length in these boards, you would want them to be turned sideways to manage any bowing or crowning or whatever the word is. But anyway, it's done. And I don't think it looks half bad. It follows the framing like I said. And it's solid. And it does what it's supposed to do. So, yay, kitchen done. And after standing in this space and imagining where furniture might go, I have decided that the toilet room will not go there next to the kitchen. It will go here. Because I have different ideas on how I want to set up the space. And I really was just worried that having a wall here when you're in the kitchen would just make it feel so confined. And I don't want that. It's a small enough space without creating any other illusions of confinement. So yes. So now the next thing is we know that on this opposite wall we want to do some clear roofing, but I'm debating on which section of the wall I should place it in. Originally I was going to center it, but now I don't know, because if the bed's going to be over here, this thing is tall, 8 feet tall, so I don't know if I want it to be right over the bed where if you're laying in bed you get the sun in your face, or well, the sun's not on that side of the house, but it would be bright nonetheless. What if you want to sleep in? Anyway, so if you were laying in bed right here, would you want that to be wide open? I don't know. So I'm going to hold off on that, contemplate a little bit. I've got the 2x6s over there to do that framing with, but I'm going to think about that a little bit. I'm going to work on framing up the bathroom walls, since I have some wood to get started on that, now that I know where I want to put it. And then after I get that in, I think that'll give me a better sense of this space and where I might want that big band of light to land. It's kind of sprinkling off and on, super light, like a little mist for a second, and then it goes. Oh wow, look over here. I don't know if you can see, there's getting to be a lot more orchids over there. Sure pretty. There's some at the beginning of the trail. You can't see them, but at the driveway where you come in on the trail to get in here, there's some more orchids there too. Anyway, so kitchen done. Moving on. I'm going to use this wood. I'll start putting a toilet room over there. It's done! Well, the whole house isn't done, but the framing is done. Kitchen done. Looking good. Hard to tell, but that's a toilet room. It's little, but it's framed. And the door is framed. And that will be both sides. The clear roof. I decided where it will go. Right there. Because the bed is likely to be over here. And you might like an open space of light, maybe to put a chair to read a book with some nice natural light there. This particular spot will never get direct sun, so it will always be beautifully naturally lit, but never have the sun in your eyes. I'm pooped, but I got it done. I got more done than I thought I could today, which really almost never happens. So, I'm pretty pleased with the choice on putting the bathroom on this side. Coming in, the way the door will swing, you won't even see the bathroom room, the toilet room, when you first enter. So as you enter, you'll come in the door. So you are just outside the door frame. See, there's the door frame. As you come in, the first things you'll see are the kitchen area and the bed, and then the door will swing this way. And so you won't particularly notice that there is an enclosed space until you get a few steps into the room. That also means that this side, this corner, you can probably put some things there to keep your shoes and your coats and things like that. Possibly some seating. My idea is that with a queen size bed, you could put the queen-size bed up against the wall there. The ceiling isn't so steep that you would be uncomfortable. I mean, don't cram it in there. But, you know, push it towards that side of the room. And then you could have a round table here that could serve as an end table, also as dining if you wanted it, and a cozy chair in the corner, which would allow you from that corner to both enjoy that window or the kitchen window, or even the big empty space there, the empty wall, the clear wall. So that would be a cozy corner, I think. And then over here, the foot of the bed will only come to about there, where my end of my finger is. So you'll still have, what is that, 5 feet of empty space beyond the foot of the bed here. This is 4 feet in between where the window will be 4 foot and then 8 high. And so that's a considerable amount of space. You could put a dresser at the foot of the bed, still have some reasonable amount of space to move around in and use that dresser and have not obstruct the window. So my reason for putting it where I did, it didn't end up at all where I first planned. First, it was going to go in that section right where that sheathing ends. It was going to be at that height, which would have made that upper very tall, twice as tall. But I started to consider if you wanted it dark in here, you'd have to be able to reach the top, because the way the curtains are going to hang is with like an elastic, like a bungee, kind of a stretchy, with gathered at top and bottom so that it will stay against the wall, even though the wall is at an angle. But in order for that to work, you have to be able to reach the top, or it will never, gosh, I'm dirty. It will never fully open at the top, which I guess is okay too. But if you wanted it to fully open and you wanted it to fully close, you'd have to be able to reach the top, which I can reach the top. This is 8 feet from floor to top of it, but because of the angle, it's only like 7 feet, 6.5 feet to touch it. So no big deal to close the curtain there if you wanted to. So I think it's a little more user-friendly. Anyway, those are my plans. And the framing is done. I'm so excited. So now we get to get more sheathing, which is that stuff, and start closing in the walls. Yeah, I'm super excited. It is, as you can see, starting to get dark. There's some heavy clouds coming in. Looks like it's going to rain tonight. It's almost 5 o'clock. But the weather held out all day. And so I'm not wet, as you can see. I'm fine. I'm super glad. I still have 3 2x4s. I do technically have a little bit of framing to do. Because, so in the bathroom wall, you can see that this is the door wall. There's this center brace. I need a center brace like this in the front wall, on the exterior wall, on both sides, on both ends. So 4 pieces of wood. I don't have the wood to do it. I don't think I have the daylight to do it today. But it's not pivotal at this moment. I need 1 more piece of wood to do that. So I'll get 1 more 2x4. Well, actually, if I get the sheathing on the roof, I can take a brace down. I have braces, so I won't have to buy more 2x4s. Yeah. It's cool to be standing in here. I know it's hard for you guys to see, but I can see this space now. And it's cool in here. So, anyway, I'm excited. I'm already starting to get stuff for the space. Because, you know, you're going to have sheets and blankets and stuff. So, I buy things along the way. Because decorating is actually my favorite part of the whole thing. Because I want it to be colorful in here. And so I buy things when I find bargains. But, yeah. I'm super excited that this is done. Yeah. There it is. Kitchen's over there. And then the living room area. So so opening this up, this whole side over here, oops, is pretty open. And so it'll allow you to really use the space in a comfortable way. Anyway, that's enough for me yammering. Have a fun Saturday night, and depending on when you're watching this, I'm sure it's probably a week later, but yeah, it was a good day. Super productive for one day. I am super happy. Bye!